Hello, and welcome to episode 71 of the ToonamiGAF podcast. I'm Greg Zeno. Tonight we have B-Dubs,
Hello.
C. Kohler,
Hello.
and Dr. Chaotix.
Hey everyone.
How's it going?
All right. Doing good.
So, was there news this week?
The Death Note movie came out, but I'm pretty sure I'm the only one here that watched it.
No.
They announced
Yeah. Clips on YouTube. That's all I saw.
You're all better off.
I only went
Spoiler.
to see how Ryuk sounded. He did not disappoint me there, so I got what I wanted.
Honestly, I thought for sure William Dafoe would be the one that was phoning it in, but he's the only one that wasn't. So, go figure.
I love that dude's voice. Sorry I'm late. Work was murder or whatever. He said
His job is murder.
job is murder.
Also, they announced a Fist of the North Star game.
They did. It looks awesome.
They just
I
made
didn't hear about that.
Yakuza Fist of the North Star.
There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, there's everything right about that.
Still waiting on my Arc System Works JoJo fighting game.
You're going to have to wait another couple of years.
Seems likely, though.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to do one for, everything now. I mean, I don't see how Jump doesn't go to them and say, hey, hook us up. You know?
Right.
Maybe you should do the fighting crossover games from now on.
They should be the ones to do it, yeah.
The only other news I just now found out about is that apparently the Samurai Jack is going to be on Blu-ray, the entire thing,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
including the last season, I think.
I just pre-ordered that on Amazon.
I got to be careful with my money, so
$100.
I wish I had the money for it.
It's gonna look so good.
I know.
What episode should I watch first in Blu-ray?
All of them.
Yes.
at once. Just divide your TV up into 100, not 101 different sections and watch them all at once.
That seems like a terrible way to do it.
Give them all equal billing.
Yep. Just go season by season. Oh, and they're also having that. I mean, we talked about this part last week, but they are having the first 3 episodes of Jack in theaters soon. So, go watch that. That's going to be awesome.
In theaters,
Yeah, well, in the movie theater.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's cool, but I don't really see much of a reason for me to do that. I mean, I guess yeah.
I mean, it'll probably be cool.
I think I'm gonna go see it.
I'm going to see that.
Commercials for that keep making me laugh. I don't know. I don't think I'd like it, or at least not the same way everyone else would.
Mm-hmm.
That first trailer that came out, it just made everything just made me laugh. Like the kid hitting his face against the thing, and then the clown coming out of the sewer. Like there was a clown in a sewer. I couldn't. I don't know.
I know.
Well, I'm old enough to remember the first movie, so
I didn't.
this looks like an improvement, honestly. I mean, except for, it remains to be seen if this new actor playing Pennywise is going to match up to the original.
Yeah. I mean,
that's legendary.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the good Stephen King books, so the movie's probably going to wind up being really awesome.
I mean, Tim Curry was just playing himself in 1990.
This is true.
And Bill Skarsgård looks like he's actually playing Pennywise.
I don't know. I think I'd want him to play Tim Curry, though. Because Tim Curry is scary enough, It's just...
Anyway.
I think this new one looks more menacing, so I'm intrigued.
Maybe. I mean, we'll see.
Anyway, that had nothing to do with Toonami.
Absolutely
Except
nothing.
he's a killer clown.
Killer clown.
And...
Yep.
God. You look into the sewer and you see Hisoka just rise out.
Yep, that's terrifying.
Sweet little boy.
Who would win? Pennywise versus Hisoka. Death
That's
battle.
Hisoka.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I mean, Pennywise is scary as shit, but I mean, come on.
Do you know what Pennywise actually is?
Yeah, you guys got to
A
read up a
spider,
wiki
right?
about it. He's like a being that partially created the universe.
And he's the spider that Hisoka tore off his back. And it grew a life form, and it was like, asshole, why'd you do that? I thought we were bros. Or something.
Anyway.
I don't know. Backstory.
Want to talk about the block?
Yeah, okay.
Dragon Ball Super Episode 31. Off to see Master Zuno. Find out where the Super Dragon Balls are.
A Jocko episode.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, that results in absolutely nothing.
Oh, it was awesome, though. It was amazing.
It was fun.
This was a very interesting experience for me because we're reaching the part of Super where the manga started. I haven't been following the anime. I've been reading the manga as it comes out. That's just how I prefer to do it now, unless I'm watching Toonami. So when I got to this episode and I saw it was based on the manga chapter I read, I was picking up on how different some of it was. The frog dude, for example, did not show up at all.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, the thing to know about the manga and anime here is that the anime comes first, and the manga is sort of just, they gave it to a guy, and they're basically letting him do whatever the hell he wants with it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have been able to tell that if like all the comments I've been reading about it is like, oh, this is so much better than what happened in the anime.
Oh no.
That's what people are saying. I don't believe.
They're all insane.
Like there's those different things here. I'm like, oh, but the way that arc ended was the same. That sucks. I'm like, okay, we'll have to see. I did notice a difference in this episode, but it was just like the frog dude wasn't there. Nothing else was different. That long explanation was the same. It was just like one big panel full of text.
Those are always funny to see.
Anyway.
No. Like I actually really like episodes like this because they, like, unlike the episodes where it's just fighting, like the characters have room to breathe and do stuff, and it's fun, and stuff happens even if it's not consequential. And it's just fun watching Bulma fly around in space and screw with people and get screwed with in turn.
Yeah, it is. It's nice knowing that Goku's first friend still gets to do stuff.
Even if she's a little saggy now.
She looks fine. Her joke made no.
I get it was a joke, but that was totally uncalled for.
Like I read One Piece and I've read through Fairy Tail. Her breasts are fine.
She looks fine.
She actually got de-aged compared to the Boo arc, which is funny as hell.
The thing, though, is that you do have to remember that there is a bit of a cultural divide here.
Yeah.
Where, like, if this is in Japan, like, once you reach, like, 25, you're an old person. So, at least that's how they look at it.
You've been sucked into the job, you've been sucked into the economy, and you're never coming back out.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
not until you're like a little old man.
25-year-old in Japan, but I mean, they're going to treat you like you're an old woman. Not fair.
I don't know. I'd go out with a smoking hot 25-year-old.
Hell yeah. That's why I think we're reacting to this in a different way than like the Japanese audience who likes to make fun of the fact that Bulma's like 30 or whatever.
Yeah. I think she's older. I think she's pushing like 40 here.
She's in her 40s.
It's weird. She looks younger here than she does in Kai.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Is they de-aged her a little bit.
It's the hair.
Yeah, I think it's I think it is the hair. Like they sort of tightened her up a little bit here.
Like, remember when Pierce Brosnan cut his hair between GoldenEye and The World Never Dies, and instantly, like 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something about longer hair on dudes sort of ages us. Longer hair on people sort of ages you up a little bit.
No, I mean in this case it was the opposite. He got like more of a buzz cut, and then he suddenly looked so old.
So in this episode, basically, I'm just to make sure I got it all. What was basically accomplished when they went to talk to Master Zuno was that they learned that it's been what's his face Champa who's been like collecting Dragon Balls, but they're like spread out across both universes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
also-
got
sneaking
that.
in.
And also they're planet size, so they're like, oh, well, whatever.
That's why he was blowing up planets in the other arcs.
Got it.
So,
Wait, that's why
like,
he was blowing up planets in the other
yeah, he was looking for Dragon Balls.
side. Wouldn't he just know?
No, you gotta
Wouldn't it
blow
just
them up.
look like a Dragon Ball?
No, apparently they're hidden inside of stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, like, you've been going around, like, blowing stuff up in Universe 7 for a while, because apparently he's even worse at his job than Beerus is.
Oh no,
'Cause, like, Beerus
Galactic Monument 778.
that's who Jocko can blame.
Oh, okay. I guess.
No, but I mean, somehow Beerus, who sleeps for like 50 years at a time, is somehow better at his job than his brother, if only because he's still in his universe while sleeping. He's not taking a joyride somewhere else so he can wish for awesome food.
Oh,
Like, it's just silly that he's not only fatter, but also worse at his job.
Also,
Well,
the planet,
nobody's worse than Jocko, though.
Nobody's worse than Jocko.
the
He
planets
is the
in this
worst.
show have now gone full. This is a Katamari.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck is that planet? It's just a Katamari. I rolled
By
up
the way-
some pretty fall leaves, and it made this.
When I say that Jocko is terrible, I just mean at his job. In every other way, he's great.
No, of course. I mean, he's awesome, but he's a really bad galactic patrolman.
Yeah.
Like, if he's the super elite, what the hell's like the dingus of the job look like? You know,
Well, I never get the impression that he really is. I think that's. I kind of feel like he's like he gave himself that name.
like he is the dingus at the job, and everyone else is better than him.
That's what it seems like.
That would actually be a lot of fun. I'm not sure which would be funnier though, if there was someone more incompetent than Jocko or someone less incompetent than Jocko.
Do you think Jocko has a crush on Bulma?
no.
Nah, it's
No.
just her sister maybe.
I read through a good chunk of that manga, that Jocko manga. I'm fairly certain he doesn't have a crush on anybody.
Okay.
He seemed a lot more preoccupied with figuring out whether or not he should press the human extinction button or not.
God. He would have that button.
Bulma would just punch him. Oh, you're pressing the human extinction button, huh? Anyway, anything else about this episode? It's classic filler. Nothing can actually change.
Vegeta's line was weird about, hey, you better not fuck my wife or whatever he said.
What did he call? Oh, he called him. What did he call Jocko?
I don't know. I
It
forgot.
was like jerk off or something.
something like that.
It made me chuckle.
I don't know. I mean, it was funny. It's odd. I don't know. Why him? Is it the eyes? I don't know. Is it the yellow eyes?
Oh, there was that one scene where Piccolo finally has the revelation of why
Oh shit!
the Goku and why Goku and Vegeta have such hot-tempered wives, and that's apparently a trait of their species.
I mean, so I guess they're the closest thing to female Saiyans they can get.
Right. Which is kind of clever.
Sounds right.
I mean, it makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
Like Like some guys like blonde, some guys like.
Pre-Android Arc Bulma though.
She was pretty rough. Like she bossed people around and shit, you know.
Yeah, but she was also like, it's a fly. I want to be out of here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I guess he's just attracted to the parts of her that yell.
Yeah,
But
the
she's not
parts
always strong. Like, sometimes she's a coward.
This
Yeah, I
also
mean-
doesn't explain why Gohan is still with Videl after her edges were completely sanded off.
that she's still tough.
Well, he's only part whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I haven't
I
really
mean,
seen.
I mean, and she's still pretty tough. I mean, you know, she's not going around fighting, but you know,
You've only really seen her when she's taking care of the baby or whatever. So
I mean, there's a couple of episodes coming up later on where you know,
yeah, I mean that's why I'm just saying I'm not judging her as harshly as everyone else is just yet. I don't really know.
we haven't really, yeah,
Her
we haven't
scream at
really,
her baby while she's feeding it about her. Just get this fucking thing in your mouth.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. I think at most she just sort of chilled out a little bit from that, you know, Boo high school arc.
I mean, yeah, and that should be expected. You know, she's not in high school anymore, which is fine. But you know, I think most people just really want that
Yeah,
back
no.
because Dragon Ball doesn't really. But that's
Yeah.
we already know that discussion.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Well, shall we talk about Dragon Ball Z Kai?
Sure, I forgot what happened.
Yeah.
Oh,
wait.
Oh
Kai.
yeah, that. Sorry.
Dragon Ball Z Kai, the final chapters, episode 130. Found a ray of hope. Awaken warriors. Every
Yeah.
single line must be punctuated with an exclamation point.
Yep.
Yeah,
And-
I was about to say I didn't remember what happened, but then I remembered.
Yeah. No. This is the one where they wish back everyone. This is the one where they wish back everyone good that died that day, and then Goku's like, "Oh, Gohan's dead," and they're like, "Wait, what? No!" And it's like you just wished everyone good back, even if he was dead. He's alive now. You know, shouldn't somebody point out, "Hey, that wish we just made, you know, should have brought him back."
No, that one. Yeah, I was about to say like. Remember that one really bad scene that made me mad when Goku opened up his stupid fat mouth and just said, "He's like, oh, there's no way getting around this, so I guess I better just say it. Gohan's dead."
They
Surprise!
they just wished all the good people back. I mean, unless he died like 30 seconds ago, you know, he's fine.
Or he was secretly Hitler. We don't know. Maybe Gohan was a Nazi.
Well, that
We
kind of
just
brings
didn't
me to
know.
my question, which may get answered very soon. But like Vegeta died.
He was a giant asshole, though.
Well,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I agree. I think he doesn't. He most
He's not
likely
a
he
good-
would not be brought back. But I
Right.
don't put it past this show to.
No, he's not a good person. Like
He
they
blew up
were,
several hundred people.
yeah,
But don't you remember that tender moment he had with his son right before he died?
Still blew up
only
several
the one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then he like chopped him in the neck and then punched the other kid in the
Yeah,
head.
well, like if he had gone, you know, 10, 15 years without killing several hundred people, maybe he comes back. But you know, he killed several hundred people.
Yeah.
Well, he blew up planets too.
Including-
Well, I mean that too, but you know, that was like, you know, 10, 15 years ago.
Also, is anyone else like a little bothered by how they're leaving it up to the dragon to perceive what they mean when they say good people?
Oh, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, like B-Dubs, he just said, he's like, well, that was 10 years ago. It's like, who gets to decide that?
The dragon does.
like, I mean, I guess if anyone would do it, it's best to have a neutral party like Shenron because he doesn't give a fuck. But
Yeah. I mean, you know, he's gonna say, okay, you're a nice person, you can come back.
I guess Supreme Kai's henchman is a good guy because he came back.
I mean, he's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Like,
mean
oh,
he's a good dude.
committing mass tax fraud, you're not coming back.
Yeah,
The
well, I
life.
mean, you know, like evil dudes are coming back, but you know.
No, I'm just. It's just weird.
An infamous
Yeah,
serial killer had decided to go to the World Martial Arts Tournament that day and died, and then that was it for him.
Thank God. Yeah, no, it's just one of those things. It's like it's this giant gaping like plot hole right in the middle of the episode that could have been fixed with like, you know, someone going, but we just wished everyone back. Goku going, well, I can't sense him, so you know maybe it didn't work.
Toriyama's
He
like,
did-
you want me to get to the awesome fight or not? Like, I'm doing this under protest.
I think he had a line where he said like I couldn't sense him.
I mean, that was before though they made the wish though.
They,
I mean, like no one confronted him with the fact that we just made a wish to bring all the good people back.
I mean, yeah, whether or not he sensed him or not, they still made the wish. They should have at least thought about it. You know?
Well, I mean, as viewers, I guess as a viewer, I didn't really think too much about it because we got a whole scene of him basically being resurrected anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he got saved by Supreme
Resuscitated.
Kai.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like we're not too concerned with it because we know what's going on there and we know it's like misdirection so he can come back and be like, you know, have an awesome moment or whatever.
Also, why didn't Deborah come back? Wasn't he like the best dude ever?
He was the king of demons.
What did he do anything good? I'm trying to think if he did something that was meant to be bad but was good. I mean, he
I don't
did
think
like
so.
he froze Krillin for a while. Is
That's
that
not
good?
No, that's
I
bad.
like Krillin.
He,
Just
he,
making
he,
sure.
he killed Kibito.
I like Khabib.
Had he-
Oh wait! Did he ever harm Supreme Kai?
The red.
No, no.
Dang it.
I was about to say if he had killed Supreme Kai, then you know that would be good.
You know what's funny? I actually don't have a problem with Supreme Kai.
He's just
I
really
look at-
bad at his job.
Yeah, but you know, I look at what he does, and I'm like, yeah, you know, you're a Dragon Ball Z character. Because
Yeah,
everyone on this show is fucking up.
You know what? I don't think I'd mind it too much if he was called like Lesser Kai, or
Yeah.
like
Loser
like,
Kai.
Yeah,
Or
or
if-
just
or if-
even just like Temp Kai.
Or better yet, or if they just put more emphasis on the fact that he's like new at this or something.
Yeah. Be like, you know, like if they made it very clear that he's the new guy in the, you know, charge.
I mean, again, I
Like
don't,
in-
I don't. Yeah, I don't hate him. I just, you know, it's just hard to. It's
I think he's got a cool design, but
Mhm.
he doesn't deserve. He's never earned my respect, and I don't think he's earned anyone's respect.
no, definitely not. At least not on the boards. But I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
I can't help just looking at him and go, yeah, you're just a product of a time where Toriyama stopped giving a shit. So
Yeah.
if anything, I feel bad for you.
I kind of think it would have been cooler if they had just had King Kai come down and do all this stuff, because he's kind of a bumbling guy anyway.
Yeah, but he's dead. Who cares? Goku's not going to wish him back to life.
Yeah, let's
just
not go
stays
down
on
that
the
road
rock.
again about who's alive and who's dead and what it matters.
It does
Also in
have
this episode, Boo wants cake.
Big Mom
Okay.
wants
He does. Yeah. Boo want cake.
And then Bobbity just gets shat on
yeah.
by random like cake store attendants.
That was the best.
that brought back some memories because I mentioned this before, but the Buu saga was actually the first Dragon Ball saga I actually sat down and watched because
Oh,
I didn't
wow.
watch. I didn't watch it before because I tried to once. Like I changed the channel and I saw like Android 18 and 17 and Vegeta blew up a truck. Nope, and changed the channel.
Oh,
I was bored.
You missed him getting his arm broken and crying like a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it later, but you know, I didn't eventually sit down and watch it until the Buu saga, and that shit
Yeah.
scared the fuck out of me because he was just going around murdering people while like being like this child eating cake, and like Bobbity didn't
Mhm.
really scare me that much, but Buu just like, ugh. I mean, he's cool now, but
Yeah. I mean, I want to say probably the one character more incompetent than Supreme Kai is Bobbity. Because I mean, yeah, he freed Boo, yeah, but he's got no control over this dude. You know, I
Well,
mean, Boo's just flying around doing whatever the fuck Boo
I
wants to
think
do.
I think in a moment's notice, Boo could take over, but for so far, for what it's worth, Bobity's plan of just keep threatening him about putting him back in the ball is working. So
Yeah, but
that going for him.
it's not gonna last because
Right.
Piccolo was strong enough to kill him. What if like Goku shows up and he's like, I've had enough of your shit, and then he offs him.
Yeah,
Like
I
if
think I would be
Piccolo
more, if I
murdered
was
him.
Bobbity, I'd be more worried that Boo just won't be around.
Yeah. I mean, like he was
Well, there's a
getting.
lot of blue to go around.
Well, I mean, he was getting threatened by like random ass cake shop attendants. Like
All of
I'd
these
be
people
really
are-
worried about taking a stray bullet or something.
Would a bullet take care of Bobbity?
Pretty sure
I
that'd
don't know.
do him in.
I guess so, maybe.
I mean, if he didn't have like his shield up or anything.
I don't know. I don't know. If you're good enough to be playable in a video game, I think you'd be able to take a bullet. But then again, Hercule is too, so I don't know. Maybe.
Wait, Bobbity's playable?
That's bullshit.
Yeah, like in Budokai Tenkaichi 3, he's playable.
Huh.
Seriously?
He's got some interesting rushes. You can summon Poi Poi and Yakon.
That's kind of funny.
I bet he's bullshit because his hitbox is really tiny and you can't hit him.
Smokovich is playable in that game too.
He's just like, freaking. Hell, I don't know. It's like, only Bobbity, no items, final destination.
Anyway, what else was in this episode?
I forgot the Bobbity thing happened, so I don't even think a whole lot.
Oh yeah, Videl was freaking out about the dragon.
Oh, yeah. That scene was weird because it looked like everybody was.
Yeah,
Like,
I
haven't
thought
you
the same
seen this
thing.
before?
They all do to a certain extent all the time,
Yeah, I mean, Shenron, you still look impressive. Damn, so long.
I actually have a question about this that confused me. So I thought there was a point in Dragon Ball where there were no more Earth Dragon Balls.
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
So when they come
Yeah.
back?
One time Piccolo killed Shenron.
Right.
I mean,
that was awesome.
not this Piccolo, the other Piccolo.
King
and
Piccolo, the greatest villain ever.
Yeah, and then the other time, when Piccolo and Kami fused, they went away. And they just kidnapped Dende and made him, make some Dragon Balls.
Oh, God, that was
then
so
they made the
awesome.
Dragon Balls. Okay.
Yeah, they kidnapped him. He made him some new ones.
King Piccolo was just terrifying back then. He killed Roshi and then immediately killed Chaozu and then killed Shenron. And
Yeah,
then
that was some shit.
All at the same time. Just
Mhm.
goddamn. Not even Frieza. Not even Frieza.
So yeah, Videl is still freaking out about some stuff, even though at this point it should be like, yep, everything's weird.
Oh yeah, and Oboma's parents stayed behind.
Yeah, they were just like, none of this fucking matters.
That was funny. They're like the audience surrogate in that scene because they're like, if we die, you'll just wish us back with those Dragon Ball thingies.
Yeah, I felt kind of sad how, I don't know why, because they were right, but it was weird. I felt kind of like,
I think it was kind of smart of them, actually.
Yeah. I mean, they're just so earnest and happy. I don't want anything bad to happen to them.
Well, Boo arc.
Yeah.
Still going.
Yep, and it's gonna be going for like another year.
Well, we haven't gotten to the worst of it yet. Not even close.
Oh yeah, they're like talking about how like, oh no, they made a wish. We won't be able to wish again for like several months, and I'm like, oh, so this is gonna go on for several more months, huh?
God, can you put that in, like, if you were to put that into perspective, way back when Dragon Ball first started, these the Dragon Balls was like this mystical thing that you had to go and search for. It was like a legend, and you'd only get one wish. And now it's just like, oh yeah, we gotta wait like 2 months before we can wish again. That's annoying.
The very namesake of the series is nothing.
Yeah, well, I mean, part of the problem is everybody flies like faster than the speed of sound now.
Yeah.
You know, they can circle the Earth in like 2 minutes.
Like
Yeah,
this
it's
is
not an adventure anymore.
this series is power creep embodied.
Well, that's what's kind of good about Super, though, is that now we're searching for a new and greater Dragon Ball, so it's kind of bringing it back, because it's like, how are they going to get these things, you know?
Well, Champa already has 6 out of 7.
Well, yeah, but they still got to find one, and it's like anywhere in the universe, so...
If I can give GT credit for anything, it's that the idea of going to search for Dragon Balls again on an actual adventure in space was a good one. That's it, though. Because I missed
Also
that
the idea-
adventure part, you know?
I mean, also the idea that, you know, like the Dragon Balls were building up like negative karma from their wishes or
Oh
something.
yeah, that's a great idea. I love that idea.
Like they were good ideas, just completely botched in every conceivable way.
Yeah. Super 17 though, those lack of eyebrows. Okay.
No.
I'm trying to think of something good I came up with. Lack of eyebrows.
Anyway, want to talk about JoJo?
Yes.
Mhm.
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders Episode 5, Silver Chariots. What did you think about this episode?
It was amazing, as usual. JoJo continues to entertain thoroughly. I do love the Silver Chariot. Come on!
That was silly, but I like it.
Yeah, I like that Polnareff does in fact have a French accent, but only once every like 15 lines. Like most of the time he's just straight up American, and then he's just like, oui, I am French.
Yeah, he doesn't really have an accent. He just speaks French words periodically.
To remind you that he is French.
Yeah, but it doesn't really bother me. Because if the fact that he's supposed to be French is an important part of his character, they're not really playing it up too much. He just sort of, he doesn't look. I mean, it's just nothing about his character outside of the fact that his name sounds kind of French. That would make him French.
You know, it's even less French than when he was Jean-Pierre Eiffel.
Really?
In one of the games, because they were like, we can't use Polnareff. We'll get sued by Michael Polnareff. And then everyone else used it, and it's like,
All right, we'll use it.
I liked that what's his face's move is called Crossfire Hurricane from the Jumpin' Jack Flash song.
Yeah.
That's
Which
cool.
is awesome.
Not the last time we'll hear Jumpin' Jack Flash in JoJo, though not for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot of it was a blur to me until the end, for some reason. I don't know why.
you must have been
I
shaken
was
out of a
enjoying
stupor
myself.
by Polnareff defying gravity with his pose.
Yeah, I remember the pose, and I remember him snapping his fingers to make the fire go away after he said, "I won't stab myself with this knife because your fire was really cool, so I want to die by it."
But seriously, that pose is so ridiculous.
Yeah, let's
That
talk
pose
about
is
it.
Impossible. It's like
It's like
impossible.
I mean, it's almost like the animators go, okay, this pose from this manga, which I'm assuming that had to be in the manga.
Oh, of course.
Okay. So like they were
I
we
assume.
have to do this in the show because it is so crazy and iconic looking. But when you
Yeah.
see it, it's just like, what is happening here?
Well, I mean, that's JoJo.
That's probably the most over the top pose I think I've seen.
It gets crazier.
I liked it, though.
Man, that is. It's not quite as over. It's not really as over the top as the Joseph and Caesar pose right before they go after the Pillarmen. Just because that's like, well, time to fight. Posing.
That one is still my favorite.
I mean,
Well,
they just posed at like random
I think that's
intervals
a
for
better
no
pose.
reason.
I think that's a better pose, but this was like over the top in the sense of like there's like it. Not only is it not make sense, like in the laws of physics, but it also just like why did he do it? Like it didn't.
That's what I was like, what?
I mean, these characters just pose randomly for no conceivable reason.
Yeah, but
You know,
why
it's
that
like
way?
they just do it. It's in their blood.
JoJo
Like,
characters
even
have to
the-
pose. Oh,
Even
sorry.
the
Go ahead.
Joseph and Caesar one. That makes some like even if like, even the Joseph and Caesar one where they're just doing the weird thing with their hands. I get that, but why would he want to bend down so hard and crush the bones in his back?
We will
Because it
never
looks
understand
awesome.
the point of the posing. We just want it to keep happening.
Yeah, no, the episode was good. I kind of just blurred in and out because there was a lot of screaming and throwing fire around, and I was just kind of lost for a second. But it was a good episode.
So apparently Ponorov has a bizarre question for everyone, and that bizarre question is: have you seen a man with 2 right hands?
Mr. Joestar, I see that you're wearing gloves, and I can clearly see that that is a left hand. Would that happen to be a right hand? Good job bullying the disabled, Polnareff.
Yes, seriously.
Feel bad that I don't remember his hand getting cut off. That must have happened.
That was literally in a like cars cut it off in the volcano.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the most he's just straight up said, I lost this in a battle a long time ago, and it's like that's an understatement.
Yeah, seriously. An immortal god cut your hand off while you dueled him over the rim of an active volcano.
And I can't blame Joseph for being that passing about it because it's like, oh yeah, that happened.
Like every
So
time
much
that
crazy shit.
every time that happened, every time that comes up, he should just tell the entirety of part 2 in full, and everyone's just like, "Yes, we heard this story 1,000 times before."
So
Yes, Grandpa. I know what happened. You fought a god on a volcano and you sent him into the sun.
the only bad thing about that hand is it was probably designed by Nazis.
It was designed by Nazis.
Nazi hand.
I live on through this hand. He just the actual boss of part 3 is Stroheim possessing Joseph.
Yeah, sometimes my hand just makes the Nazi salute. I can't stop.
Oh, God.
Anyway, Polnareff wants revenge on the guy who raped and murdered his sister.
Yes, he does. He's basically Domon Kashu, only without the giant robot and infinite swagger. Just,
So in the flashback, we see the guy with two right hands, like,
yeah.
not getting touched by the rain. Ignore that. It has nothing to do with what he actually does. In a classic JoJo fashion, the author had no idea what his stand did until he actually started writing the fight.
What else is new?
Okay. I mean, I completely blanked out on the part where the rain wasn't touching him, so he might have actually gotten away with that with me.
Yeah, I mean, and also, there's no way that guy's actually working for Dio. You know, it's like that. No, he's totally working for Dio.
Yeah, pretty much any enemy they come across is going to be related to this at some point, I'm sure.
Anyway,
So is Dio? I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Oh, is Dio gonna stay in that darkly lit room for like the entire season, or?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
The entirety of the season is let's take 48 episodes to get to Dio's darkly lit room.
All right.
While while they use as much of the I forgot that the Speedwagon Foundation money as humanly possible.
We also got a cameo from Pet Shop.
Yep.
The Falcon.
Mm-hmm.
That bird's a motherfucker.
Yeah. They're going to wind up wasting all Speedwagon's money.
Last thing I'll say is I have a embarrassing confession to make. I didn't actually put it together that the old dude was Joseph until like the second episode. I thought he was just a random old dude.
He really doesn't look or sound anything like he did.
No.
I don't blame you from that perspective.
I mean, when you saw him do the dance in this episode, you should have known, oh, that's Joseph.
Yeah,
Oh, no, I knew by
Oh, it's so gross! Get away! He's literally like acting like Holly. He's doing like the girliest scare dance of all
That's
time.
great.
It was amazing.
Dude who bursted into people's houses and screamed at them.
Now we can be buddies.
See, I think so far, I mean, I think many people would probably agree with this, but I think so far he is the best Joestar because not only like his entertainment value is going into this season. Like he was great in his own season, and now he's like the best, almost the best part of this season.
Meanwhile, Jotaro doesn't really get good until he starts aura-oring people every other episode.
Because someone posted what was it, an interview with the author at the end of the thread?
Yeah.
About how he thought he admitted that Joseph was probably the kind that most people would like in a Shonen Jump protagonist, but he thought Jotaro was his ideal favorite kind of Shonen Jump protagonist.
Yeah, well, I mean, Jotaro is kind of just Clint Eastwood style,
Yes.
you know?
Something like that.
I mean, the problem is that he's in an arc that isn't really conducive to getting the most out of that character right now.
All right. I mean, I haven't seen
You
it,
know?
so I'm just waiting for
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know, sort of like a monster of the week type thing where you're traveling along. It isn't really all that conducive to the sort of Clint Eastwood type character he is, I think.
Okay.
Well, for what it's worth, I don't think he's a bad character. I think
No,
he's
he's
just
not.
kind of understated, but I do like him.
Yeah, no, I like him
like
too.
him.
I just think he's not in the right story right now.
Yeah. Let's talk about the fight a bit,
Yeah.
because it actually looks really good.
I remember fire and screaming.
Mhm.
You're not gonna get much out of me there. I don't remember
Yeah,
much
there
of
was-
the fight.
The guy's armor came off, and then instead of shooting, you know,
Oh, yeah.
crossfire hurricanes at, you know, Polnareff, he kept trying to shoot him at the stand. I'm like, aim for the dude. The stand is gonna get in his way to protect him, and then you can hit him. And then at the very end, it's finally like, okay, I'll aim for the dude, and then the stand got in the way, and he connected.
Yeah, and then Paula Abdul can like shoot onks apparently.
Yep, that's crossfire hurricane.
He's
well,
Egyptian, if you didn't know.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
Crossfire Hurricane. I thought Crossfire Hurricane was like just a fire move.
No, that's those flaming onk things.
Okay.
Anyway, get ready to never ever see Polnareff Stan do that thing with the armor again.
That's a waste.
Welcome to part 3, aka the part where Stans do that thing and then never do it again.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because he's still figuring it out. So
It's like, did anyone see a Goku do that Kamehameha with his feet? Oh no, then it never happened.
he only did that the one time.
Yeah,
At least Toriyama brings back the clothes beam.
Oh, he actually did bring that back.
Mm-hmm.
Piccolo never gets huge again though.
Piccolo used it twice.
Forgetting moves.
I mean, you're right. It is.
Both
I mean,
times on
it's pretty obvious that like these powers may only be seen once. I guess it doesn't really detract from the entertainment, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't.
It's just fun.
Anyway, speaking of things that are... Oh. Tokyo Ghoul Route A, Episode 8, Old Nines. You can't do that. You can't have the word nines in Episode 8.
They're trying.
They're breaking
Anyway,
new ground.
In this episode, people drank coffee.
They chatted about Kafefe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was the episode. It was about coffee mostly.
Yeah, and
Very...
it was okay. If I can be honest, I didn't watch it.
Well, I'll give you. I'll give you a real.
I couldn't be bothered.
Recap here because I did. It turns out that the old guy who never opens his eyes, who runs Anteku, he had a human wife, and they had a half ghoul son, and then that's this one-eyed owl everyone's talking about.
Okay.
What?
Basically,
or was his son the guy who had the human wife Or I don't know.
What a
I have no
That's-
fucking idea.
that's stupid.
I'm a pretty sensitive person. It's not hard to make me cry. But I mean, come on, like just like a little bit of effort, please.
No. No effort.
It was, I mean, it wasn't like the worst thing ever or anything like that. But when I'm looking at this and I'm like, the girl comes back and she's like, "Oh, why didn't you tell me? I love you for who you are, a murderer who eats people in alleyways."
Like this exact same thing again.
Right.
Like, I want to feel for you, but you're
You
just
know,
so stupid.
That's actually seems to be the theme of this season. It's like we talked about it last week too. It's like they just keep rehashing what happened before. It's like less work than coming up with an original story. They just do what they did before. But I don't know. I mean, I'll just say that like I had a thought about this, but it's just now it escapes me. The show, like, it wasn't offensive this week or anything. It was just
No.
like normally bland, and like, and they keep doing this thing where they insert they put an insert song in there to try to well up the emotion, and it doesn't really work. It kind of falls flat
Every week.
every week.
Every week
Yeah.
now.
She did the unthinkable. What did she do? I don't know. We didn't.
What I noticed about this episode in particular is that they really had no idea what they were doing for the entire second half. Like, and I don't mean like they had an idea, but they didn't know how to execute it. No, they just did not know what to do. So they kind of had this one thing that they were going to focus on, and they took every opportunity they could to stretch it out as hard as they could, because there were times in that coffee shop where they would do one activity and it would go on for like an unnecessary amount of seconds. Like the dude was pouring coffee into that cup for like way longer than he needed to be. And then they sat down and looked at it for longer, no talking. And I'm like, is something going to happen? What do you guys, what? And then they just chatted about coffee and the right beans to use. And then he left. And he was like, "Oh, I insist on paying you and don't have to pay me." And then they stood there, silence for seconds. And then he's like, "All right, I'll leave." I'm like, you don't know what to do, do you?
It was supposed to be like this character interaction scene where you're supposed to get more depth about the characters, but nothing happened, and we didn't learn anything new. And yeah, and I think that like Persona 5 did the whole coffee thing like 10,000 times better than this did.
Yeah, you could tell they were trying to go for the pause for dramatic effect thing, where you don't have any music playing, you don't have a whole lot of talking, but they didn't really do it right. It just came off awkward.
So I was waiting the whole time for the doves to just crash in after that guy left, but no.
Yeah, that was weird.
That would have actually been effective build-up, but no, they have to go back to the office, and then it's like, okay, now we're doing it. It's like, what?
I'm surprised I remembered as much as I did, because I was worried I wouldn't have anything to say.
Also, the other thing that bothered me about this episode is this recurring theme that like here's yet another group of characters who have a half human, half ghoul, and yet people still are surprised that this is a thing. Like, it looks at this point, it seems like every other ghoul is like a half human, half ghoul.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing seems dumb.
I'm not keeping track, so they can do whatever.
It just feels like a wasted potential. If Kaneki or whatever his name is was the first, that would have been like more interesting. But to have so many now, it just seems like he's not really that special.
Oh, really? Yeah. Would it have been better if he was super special?
It would have taken more than that, but yeah, it would have helped, I guess.
Yeah, I think having, there be something special about him would have helped a little bit. If we're done talking about that, I actually have some news.
What is it?
That just came through. Dragon Ball Z Abridged is going on hiatus.
Oh, I saw that.
Oh, it wasn't already on hybrid. Never mind.
No, yeah, I know it's taken a while from between the last episode. They're not saying why. I mean, for all we know, it could be Toei's giving them shit because they haven't put the last 2 episodes back up on YouTube yet.
That wouldn't surprise.
I mean, they have a
I mean,
website.
yeah,
and
I mean,
run on Patreon.
Yeah, I mean, their episodes are on the web, still on their website, but apparently they're just on hiatus right
I wonder
now.
if it's something to do with that thing they're doing, the dub. Maybe they're all hands on deck on that thing.
Yeah, maybe they. I mean, it
Yeah.
could be.
Maybe they just need a break. I don't know.
Of course, the next episode was supposed to be the 3-part Cell arc finale, so...
Yeah, so that's kind of annoying.
Also, a hurricane just happened, and they're in Texas.
Yeah, that too. Also, that's probably more why they're on hiatus. Is the giant hurricane, and the other one coming.
You can
the
tell
same
how...
hurricane again.
No, different hurricane.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, apparently one's going to be in the area next week, around Wednesday or so. They don't know if it's going to go for them or Mexico or whatever, but the European model says, yeah, they're getting another one from the look of it.
So that's
Moving
fun.
on. Yep.
Moving on. Want to talk about Hunter x Hunter?
Okay.
Hunter x Hunter episode 64, Strengthen and Threaten, in which they train. A lot.
They do trainings.
Evil scissor dude with beady eyes is gonna come for you. Eat your hair.
Well, that was last episode.
Yeah. This one, they dig holes and sleep and stuff.
And punch each other very slowly.
Yeah, they do that too.
That slow punch was hilarious, though.
It really is. Like, Bisky just wrecked his face. And she, like, barely tapped him.
That is so cool that she can move that slow and then have that much power.
Yeah, that's just purely, like, her Nen.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, a lot of the training stuff just kind of blurs together for me right now. It's not like bad or anything. I'm enjoying watching Killua and Gon get the shit kicked out of them because I'm an asshole sometimes. But
Killua blasted off again this episode.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
And they had the bomber reveal.
Oh yeah, the guy in the intro who was clearly the bad guy was like,
yeah,
guess what?
On stage. And he was like, okay, I am the armor titan. He is the colossal titan. We're gonna wreck your shit.
Pretty much.
But it was literally a case of, to do my thing, I literally have to tell you, I literally have to explain my bullshit to you.
I mean, the more conditions on your Nen, the stronger it is. So,
and he's got like a power called Little Flower, which is just like a little explosion, I guess.
Yep.
It's another
the palm of his hand.
He and his like 2 bomber buddies don't really strike me as being all that menacing or anything.
No.
Yeah.
No. Not at all.
I mean, they're fairly strong, but at the same time, it's like, dude, your power's kind of
and you know what it is?
Amazing.
You know what it is too? It's that Bisky's around.
Yeah, I mean, Bisky
like,
could probably.
As long as she's around, I feel like everybody in this show is just like a pushover.
I mean, in this arc, Bisky's probably the strongest person on that island. Well, second strongest person on that island.
I don't really think it's more her because I wasn't really paying much like when I was reading the manga, I didn't really know what to make of her just yet. It's just that when I saw the guy and his design, I was just kind of like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah, that's definitely a factor. He just doesn't look. He looks like a generic villain. Actually.
I mean, the anime doing him a little bit more justice with the shading and stuff, but it's not. It's not true.
He looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh filler. He looks like a Yu-Gi-Oh GX filler villain.
It's like
that's the episode title.
Little Flower Bomb.
He really does. But I mean,
he's going to dramatically summon Pot of Greed, allowing him to draw 2 additional cards from his deck.
I mean, oddly enough, like he's the main villain of the arc, but he's probably not the climactic fight of the arc.
I do like too that when Gon and Killua are training, that like I don't know, there's just like a really fun like camaraderie that they have.
Mm-hmm.
Like that even though they're kind
Yeah,
of sort of competing with each other, they just are totally like cool about it.
Yeah, they're having fun.
Yeah, it's the ambiguously gay duo.
And and
not
also like,
ambiguous.
again, I know I'm just like a broken record about Bisky, but like another thing I really like about her character is that like it would be so easy and tropey for her to be annoying and like mean, but she's not. She's actually like genuinely wanting to help them and being
Mhm.
like, this is, and then like giving them like, hey, you're doing a good job. And like that attitude is just makes me like
Yeah.
her even more.
Although I gotta admit, I would kind of have liked to have seen her attempts to try and break their friendship apart. It would have been interesting.
Yeah.
It would have been funny if I just like I don't know. I wouldn't want it to go on too long, but you know.
Yeah.
Also in this episode, somebody
do?
dramatically yells, "Poo hot!"
Yeah.
And that's
Oh,
funny.
boy.
Like, just his head in the bag is hilarious to me.
I wonder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I forgot that
yeah.
happened.
I remember that in the manga. I was waiting for it to happen because it was just so weird. Like his eyes were all like cross-eyed in the manga, and it was like in this plastic bag, so you could see the head, the whole thing. But in the anime, it's just like in a bag, and you couldn't see the bottom of it. And he just drops it off like he's went to get some groceries or some shit.
Oh yeah, and another big thing happened at the very end of the episode where we see a bunch of the spiders just literally taking a boat to Greed Island.
Yep. They're like,
Remember-
fuck it.
It's part of the real world. It's in the real world.
Yep.
Oh man,
And
I
they
didn't
take
remember.
They take a boat there and then they get completely wrecked.
Also, I like that the bubble horse is the top-rated monster in that area.
Well, I mean, it seems like, to beat it, you have to go between 10 and Zetsu quickly. So, I presume that's hard.
Also, I have a confession. I still have no idea what any of those terms are when they're said,
Oh,
and
No.
I never
Yeah, me either.
will. And
Sorry.
that's
I'm
fine.
not going to. Not trying to.
They're like
I made
five
it through the
words that
entire
all end in N, and I can't
Yeah.
remember any of them.
that's okay.
So,
like if it was the
this-
hockey.
I mean, the whole point of it is to.
I'm sorry, Doctor.
is-
I talked over you.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point of, all those terms and stuff is basically so Tagashi can say, all right, now you know all this stuff. I can do whatever the fuck I want, and it can all just be justified using this crap I told you. Figure it out on your own.
Sure, but if you're someone who wants to just casually read it and just like
You-
understand
you-
what
no.
it is,
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
don't
don't
know.
have to pay that much attention.
and yeah, I mean, I gotta say, I say this a lot on the boards, but like watching the anime is giving me an entirely new appreciation for Hunter x Hunter because
Hmm.
I thought there was something wrong with me when I read the manga and I came out of it just going like, I don't think I liked it. But I mean, yeah, it's weird because the manga was such a really hard thing for me to read, and I don't particularly understand what it was. I mean, I kind of do. Like there was a lot of text, there was a lot of things that just kind of came in and went, and there was a whole bunch of explaining of just like the arcs weren't super connected to one another. It was a very strange experience going through it the first time. And I remember just kind of coming out of it like it's not bad, but I didn't really like it.
The
A whole
cool thing
lot.
about this show is
And
that
I didn't
this
like
is like
Killua either.
they kind
Oh.
of like had this is like their second chance to
Mhm.
do this show, so it's like they're refining it, you know.
Yeah,
and
that's the
kind of
thing.
like
I think the reason I'm liking it so it's like the story wasn't the issue. I'm finding out. I think it's just the way Togashi set up the manga
yeah.
that because I'm reading the current chapters as they come out now.
Mhm.
I'm not really enjoying those either.
Oh, come on. Those are awesome.
I'm just not. It's really boring me for some
Oh,
reason.
dude.
Like there's just a whole lot of text and text and text, and I'm following it closely enough to barely get what's going on. I feel like it just being in an anime setting, laid out the way it is here, is making me realize what he's going for a lot better now. I think it might just be a case of the way he's setting up the manga is not really gelling with the way I consume the media. You know, because you know, there was parts in the manga where they were like, oh, the art sometimes doesn't really help in that regard either.
Yeah,
if you
no,
follow the rule of show don't tell, then Hunter x Hunter breaks that rule 5 million times a day forever.
Yeah, it's
that's okay.
Yeah, it's not really like, I'm not saying I'm not enjoying it because I think it's bad or anything. I think it's just the way the manga is structured is not very, very good in my eyes. But I really like the way the anime is laying it all out. So yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot more.
I can see some shows where the manga is better than the show, but without having really read any of it, I can kind of see how this show could be better than its manga just because of the production value and the music and everything else.
And I never say that. I never say I prefer the anime more than them. I always prefer the manga. I have like tons of manga in my house right now. But Hunter x Hunter I'm realizing that it's making a really huge difference. Like just being able to see everything clearly, because there was a point in the manga where they were like, all right, let's go into the forest, and then they turn and there's like 1 or 2 trees and a bunch of white space, and I'm like, wait, where's the forest?
Well, that was that was classic Togashi. Oh, my back, but actually Dragon Quest Rebels.
Yeah, no, I mean, he did go back and fix all that stuff in the actual volume releases, but most of what's on the internet is sort of taken from the weekly releases, so it's all like just endless scribbles.
Yeah.
Like it's a 1.5 million times better if like you go to the library and like pick up the volume. And
basically what I'm saying is consuming it like this works a lot better for me because Togashi's writing is super intense, super in-depth, and my eyes hurt. Like by page 9, I was like, oh my God, I must be almost done with this. I looked up, I realized I'm at page 9 of the fucking chapter, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's a lot better. I'm just bringing it up to let everyone know that, yeah, I am enjoying Hunter x Hunter now. I don't hate Kilo anymore. I get his character now. I get everything now. It's great.
I mean, just having characters like animated and voiced brings a lot of life to them that a text dump can't.
Definitely. It's, it's just one of those situations where the medium is different. The way it's set up is different. I can consume it better as a manga usually, but this is one of those situations where it's reversed, and it's not something that happens often.
Also, Bisky, fix your hair.
She did, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, she put in a
like halfway.
ponytail.
I think when we came back from the commercial break, she had tied it into one ponytail. Yeah. So, but yes, I agree. For most of the episodes, for like days now, she's been like messed up hair.
She don't care.
Anyway, want to talk about Lupin the Third?
Yes.
Okay.
Lupin the Third, Part 4, Episode 10. Requiem for the Assassins, in which Goemon is a character again.
In which Goemon is incredibly broken.
And we realize why he hasn't been in the show, because he solves the plot.
Seriously. Like, he's getting shot at by, like, 7 guys with machine guns on trucks, and he's just blocking all of their bullets with his sword.
Who would win? Guy with minigun versus sword.
Depends. Does Goemon have the sword? He's like a friggin' Jedi or something.
If Goemon has the sword, then Goemon he's just like that Colosseum scene from episode 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a really great episode of Black Lagoon. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
All joking aside, though, it was actually a really good episode, just verbatim. Like all of the jokes we've been making these past few weeks about the fact that Goemon's not been around, like at least when he comes back, it's a great episode. Like it's really good.
Yeah, this is my first time actually sitting down and watching like a Lupin series. Like it came on when I was younger, but I would always I would hear the theme song. I would listen to the theme song. I'm like, oh, I like that theme song, and then I'd go to sleep. But I'm watching it now. So
I don't think
I'm
I
really
can't
liking
imagine
it,
that
yeah.
older stuff was anywhere remotely as adult and violent as what we saw in this episode. Because, like, how many people died from headshots? I mean, I lost count.
So
I
many.
think there
I
were
was dying when that first guy showed up, and it's like, wait, that's literally just Sokka from The Last Airbender.
It was.
there was a dude who called himself the Bomber in here too, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he sounded like John Travolta.
That was the best.
But man, those
Oh,
were
yeah.
some brutal headshots.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
damn.
I think they got away with it because the blood kind of looked like paint or something. It was the style of the show. It helped it a lot,
Yeah.
but it was still really really dark looking.
Yeah, it was very violent. I mean, I think it's happened like 3 or 4 times now, and it just every time it surprises me because you're right. It looks like a show that would have been done in the early 80s, and
Yeah.
you think, oh well, it never have that much violence, and like, holy crap.
It
Lupin
has a
doesn't
lot
seem
of
like a
violence.
show where people would die, and then they really fucking die.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Lupin kills someone off, they're fucking dead.
So another weird theme that we're seeing in this show. Again, I want to before I continue, I do have to say I do really like this show, and I know I'm talking about the violence and stuff, and like maybe it sounds like I'm being down on it. I'm really enjoying it. But another weird theme that's popping up again is this like weird child labor perversion thing where
Yeah.
this girl Belladonna is rescued by this like politician guy, and then when he like raises her, and then when she gets older he tries to have his way with her, and it's like, what is going on?
Yeah, no, it's creepy.
Relax, I'm going in.
God.
Phrasing,
And then,
man.
like, Goemon goes, "This is how we do it in Japan." When he gives her the little pinky swear.
Pinky swear, Japan.
Oh, one other thing I want to say too, and this is maybe kind of a minor complaint, but I do not like Goemon's voice. He
Why?
sounds like the most like the voice actor just sounds like he is so phoning it in. It's like this. It's like, I am Goemon. I
He's
cut
so-
people with my sword.
He is stoic and honorable, you son of a bitch.
It just doesn't work for me. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Goemon before this, or heard what a voice of Goemon would sound like. So hearing him talk, I was just kind of like, oh, okay. I mean,
It's just
it
weird,
wasn't
isn't
what
it?
I expected, first
Yeah.
of all. And when he talks, I mean, I could get used to something that I don't expect, but the way he talks, it is kind of like he's just kind of reading from a script.
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel like the voice actor's bad. It's just like a weird choice, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the voices itself is bad, really. Like as a voice, I think it could work, depending on how you go with it. But if you just read it off like that, I don't think it carries enough a weight to just work on its own.
It's
You got to do
just-
something with it.
It just strikes me as strange every time I hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I could get used to it. I think maybe I don't know. He might not be in the show. He might disappear again before I get to.
It's probably likely. So, did you guys see the double triple cross coming?
There's
I
always
forgot
some
what
kind
it
of
was.
crazy twist.
Oh, yeah, it
Like,
was
she-
Belladonna the whole time.
Yeah, what?
Mm-hmm.
She was killing them.
Yep.
And then the guy like tried to hold her down and something, and then she shot
like
him.
he was groping her,
Yeah,
and
because
then
that's what you do
like-
when you're a male villain.
yeah, you grope the assassin lady you hired because she's not going to do
Yeah.
anything.
I can just do this, right? you're a woman. Who
Mhm.
cares if you're an assassin? Because that's how that works, right?
She was just
Oh,
like
God,
gun surfing and like firing a 50 caliber rifle WoW 12.
Yep. That was
You know,
freaking
now that
awesome.
I'm thinking about it, it really was kind of stupid how he just kind of grabbed her and didn't expect anything to happen.
Yeah.
She has a gun, right? Yeah, she had a gun. She shot him with it. The fuck?
Are you talking about the politician guy?
Yeah, him.
Yeah, he probably just thought he could do anything.
Because I've got money.
Yeah. I also thought that Belladonna was going to be like a suicide bomber character because she had all those like bombs on her chest when she first see her,
Yeah.
and she doesn't talk or anything. And I'm like, is that her whole gimmick? Is that she's just going to blow herself up? But
I
to
think
turn
so.
out that she actually knows guns and other things too. So
Well, if that's what she did, how the hell would she become a noted assassin?
yeah, that's what I was wondering until
Okay, I did my first job, and now I'm done.
I can't.
I blew
I
myself
can
up
no longer
routinely.
do any more jobs.
that's what made it stick out to me. I'm like, surely this is not her gimmick.
Oh, no, I do it all the time. Just walk it off, you know.
But no, another really entertaining episode. Actually, more so than I think the previous episode. I liked this one a lot.
Mhm.
Good
Yeah,
story, good characters. Like seeing Goemon be a badass and pretty much defeat everyone easily.
Yeah, and I love how it ended. He just sent a flying slash and cut everyone's cars in half with one swing of his sword, and then he flew, and then he jumped up and flew backwards, catching up with the car, and then
Oh,
jumping on it.
and Zenigata gets like his clothes ripped at the same time. So he's just in
Yeah.
his boxers.
Like, Goemon is just Zoro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's just broken as shit.
He's just a character from One Piece put in Lupin.
I really like the detective dude. What's his name again? Demi
Zenigata.
Zenigata.
Just
Yeah,
call him
I don't-
Pops.
something about his episode really got me really good. I don't know.
That's because Pops is awesome.
Yeah, it was just I don't know. It was interesting.
Yep.
Got nice highlights.
Anyway. Yeah. Want to talk about Naruto?
No, I
Naruto?
don't.
OG Naruto.
Yep.
Naruto. Episode 171, Big Adventure, The Quest for the Fourth Hokage's Legacy, Part 2. So while we're still waiting for the actual tuning exams to start in a few weeks, man, that's going to be awesome. There's some great fights in that arc. We still got this.
I can't complain about this episode because it's exactly what I would want from this show. The only sad part is that it's not going to stay.
No, we got to go back. Back
We
to
have to
the
go back
future.
to brooding people at some point.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that at first with the first episode, but as I was watching this one, I was just kind of realizing, you know what? These guys have always been horrible people.
Oh no.
Like Sakura and Ino were just
Yeah,
They
they
were
Also,
were
when they
not
were-
great.
When
I think
Choji
it was
and Ino
okay
were
'cause they
like,
were kids.
okay, it's time to kill Naruto and Sakura. This is still tuning exam arc where we still kind of are like, is everyone still going to have to kill each other?
Yeah, no, that's what they're doing.
yeah. And Naruto's stupidity is not very funny.
No,
Honestly,
it's not.
not the way they do it. You can make stupidity funny. It's not working here.
No.
And it's weird because I don't hate him for it because the show kind of does this weird dance where I want to feel sorry for Naruto, but I can't fully because he is being annoying. But at the same time, the people denouncing him for being annoying are also really annoying.
Except for
Mhm.
Guy
So
Sensen, who apparently is just pure.
Oh no, I love Guy Sensen. I mean, he's not denouncing anyone. He's just being a bro. He's awesome.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
know
nice
what you
seeing
mean. It's
Naruto
like
hang out. Yeah.
he just sort of Naruto's just like it's I don't know if anyone ever thought it was funny when Naruto was dumb. I guess some people did, but I never did. I just kind of found it
Yeah.
a little grating.
If you want to do that, you
I
gotta
don't-
really know what you're doing.
Yeah. I don't mind the other characters as much though. Like what's the guy's name with the shadow power?
Oh, Shikamaru is
Shikamaru.
always great.
Shikamaru.
Neji? Or
Are you
Shikamaru?
forgetting
No, Shikamaru.
Shikamaru's name?
I can't remember.
Shikamaru, yeah, no, he's great. Like, I'm not, I wasn't dogging on him. Like, he has the appropriate reactions to stuff. He's just
Right.
not he's not like over the top with it like Sakura and Ino are, because they're consistently just screaming about how much of an idiot he is. And I'm like, I agree with you, I get it, but can you just like not anymore? I get it. There's a point where it crosses the line to just being really abusive.
I guess ultimately what I'm saying is that like I don't mind this episode because it kind of had some fun elements to it, and it's just so much better than the other stuff that's in this series right now. And so it's kind of like sad that I guess next week or not, well, after the marathon, we're gonna go back to more pain stuff, right?
Oh
Yeah,
boy, I can't wait for that.
Oh, I can't wait for that either. It's gonna be hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna make me some popcorn and watch all the bullshit spew out of this dude's mouth. It's gonna be great.
Anyway, like the real reason I was kind of down with these episodes was because it was like, wow, it's not all completely brooding and emo anymore.
Right.
No, yeah, I can give it that.
Yeah, and it's just kind of it's good to hear that music again, you know.
Yeah, they never should have gotten rid of it.
Well, everybody grew up, I guess.
Do they even have any like entertaining town music in Shippuden? Well, don't answer that. They have no entertaining town scenes in Shippuden, so
Yeah, I mean, and
everything's
that's
serious.
I mean, that's mostly due to the fact that there's like zero time between arcs anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they're constantly jumping from one thing to the next with no downtime, no time for, you know, the characters to just sort of hang out and do anything. And it's only going to get worse, which sucks.
I just want to say too, did Guy Sensei really build that elaborate training course all by himself?
Probably. It seems like something he would do.
Like a giant building with 1,000 books in it. He just built it just for this.
It does seem like something he would do.
Guy can't even do that. He doesn't have ninjutsu.
He did it with his hands.
I pounded the books out of stone using my hands.
I always feel bad for all of the background ninjas whose jobs are just to be beaten by the main characters. Because when I see Sasuke standing there and he's got the lightning powers, and I look at the lineup of people who all look the same, just get mowed down by his Chidori. Even the guy in the back who said, I don't want to fight, and then he just finishes him anyway.
They're fine. They'll go to Ninja Hospital.
I mean, they're fine, but it's like embarrassing. It's like, can I be a named character?
Or maybe they're not fine.
No, I think they're okay.
Remember remember when Gaara exploded those dudes?
Yeah, I brought that up in the thread. I'm like, it's so weird thinking about Gaara now versus what he was before, because those were kids that he just kind of crushed in his sand.
And also Shino, like, with those leeches on those dudes. Did they get killed by leeches?
Probably.
I don't know.
It's a tough ninja world, man.
And Hinata was just there like, Anyway.
I never noticed that Shikamaru wears exactly the same outfit as Hinata. Did you notice that?
Does he?
The chain, the netting?
Like the net shirt and like the gray pants.
The standard issue netting.
Yeah. I just happened to notice that. I'm like, oh yeah, they like wear the same thing.
Anko just has the netting and nothing else.
Oh boy. Yeah, well, it is always nice seeing Naruto hang out with his actual best friend Shikamaru.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The character who should have been the star of the show.
Or at least in the team with Hinata.
Naruto, Shikamaru, and Hinata. Those three.
Yeah. That probably would have turned out better.
Yes. No, it definitely would have. I mean, if you're comparing them to Sasuke and the sauce. Dude,
I mean, already that's a better dynamic with the main character, like the doofus idiot Naruto, the smart guy who's just done with everyone shit in Shikamaru, and then Oh, well, maybe Hinata doesn't really work because that's kind of generic.
Well, no, I mean it kind of works because you know, she's got that hard work thing going on, and she's like the last person that's going to give up.
She also can be a
Yeah.
badass.
Yep.
if
Like
she tries.
I think you would have to change her character a little bit to have her be like a main trio.
I mean, not a whole
Yeah.
lot. I mean, just sort of
Maybe
take where it goes, and
maybe tone down the voice a bit.
Yeah, maybe don't go full Stephanie Shea.
only mostly.
Anyway, want to talk about Outlaw Star?
Yes.
Outlaw Star, Episode 2, World of Desires. In this episode, more phrasing.
So much phrasing.
Anyway, it's
I like
taking...
the way the show looks.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
So much phrasing.
What happened in this episode? I forgot. Shit.
I did too. I was hoping someone would say so I could remember. I forgot.
Nerd.
It's weird. I think it was just because it's so late, but I only remember a few things from the episode. Like, obviously, they got the girl out of the suitcase.
Yeah.
And they
They're
revived
trying to-
her.
They're trying to get off the planet.
Yeah. The rocket scene.
Yeah.
Where he was
And,
afraid.
Yeah, he's also sitting in the. I'm getting some feedback. Hello?
I mean,
Hello?
I don't know what that... Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think it's chaotic. We can hear ourselves through your headphone. Oh, we can't hear him anymore.
You can hear yourself
Okay.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's better now.
Okay. Whatever. Yeah. No. And there's that part where he's in the barn and he loads up his last bullet and he's like, "I'm gonna fire this sucker," and he does, and it's just like, nope, it doesn't work.
You know that's going to happen like every other episode. Like, all right, let's take him down.
Oh yeah. Why can't I get it up?
Do you want to sleep together, Jim?
Yeah. Like, I don't understand her character yet, but that was really out of there.
Well,
Out of
she's
left
clearly
field.
a robot or computer.
Oh,
Or at
really?
least she
Wakes
doesn't.
up and immediately she's like, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I thought she was just weird. I didn't think she was a robot.
Well, I
but
mean,
I
maybe
guess it makes
she's
sense.
just weird too. But I mean, like either way, she doesn't really understand it. Like,
Yeah.
Basic human crap.
This is true.
What was the deal that they struck? I forget the main character's name. Oh my god. Him and
something.
Gene Starwind.
okay, him
Yes.
and the other girl, the assassin lady, I think, or whatever she was. They were working together now because of something, and I forgot what it was.
She hired them.
Right.
Well, she hired them, but then in this episode, they were like, well, now we got to get off the planet.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're being chased by the friggin',
Pirates or whatever.
yeah, Chinese magician space pirates.
Oh,
This
okay.
universe is weird.
I
It
must
is.
have missed those.
But it's awesome.
No, you didn't miss them. You're just not putting it together. The space mystic pirates they're the ones that have like the little girl and then the guy who looks like Dr. Robotnik.
Hmm.
Okay,
That's them.
those are the space basic pirates.
Yes.
Okay,
They're the ones who keep chanting. They go blah, 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 and then stuff happens.
okay. Yeah, I remember them. My brain is it's foggy. I meant to rewatch it before coming on, but I couldn't get to it.
Yeah, I have to admit, I think having it on so late is actually hurting it a little because I do have a hard time staying up, to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss it though because it's so good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it
Mhm.
before.
I also think a
Maybe
problem is that, we already know he gets all these gets all this crazy crew together, and now it's like, boy, it's the second episode and we haven't seen really any of them.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a very slow start,
Honestly, I'd be okay if it was just him and Jim. I don't know.
Well, there's you see them in the opening. They're all standing there at the end. So
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it
Also,
was just like a cast and crew thing. I didn't know it was like a team.
the opening got cut, and it was actually good.
Yeah.
yeah,
It managed
I
to
agree.
not be horrible.
I think the JoJo cut is fine.
Mm.
I mean, I don't.
I think the beginning of the JoJo cut is really bad, but then it like transitions into good towards the end. But
Yeah,
the
I mean, I
beginning
haven't.
just starts weird.
To be fair, I haven't watched JoJo before, so I'm not familiar with the opening. But
Yeah.
then again, I can usually notice when bad cuts are happening either
Yeah.
on other ones I
But
haven't
yeah,
seen,
this
so-
Outlaw Star opening cut is really well done. I mean, they picked a really good spot in the song to start it, and yeah, it's good stuff.
I like how Melfina goes shopping for fashion, and then they go to let's go to the ponchos and poncho universe store.
Poncho Universe store.
Ponchos with ties.
Just because the ridiculous, like, I'm wearing a coat that was made for like a giant.
Yep.
This is a weird world. I mean, fashion is not going to make sense, I don't think.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else that happened. I mean, other than yeah, it's just I remember the scene when they were fighting, and like you said, the bullet didn't go off or whatever, and apparently they have all these different kinds of ammunition, and they were like, give me a number 14, give me a 12. And
Oh yeah, no,
I
none
don't
of
really
that.
know what that's all about, but that's kind of, I'm sure that'll come up later.
Yeah, no, they're like magic bullets.
JFK's magic bullet.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just like he has a gun that fires bullets that cast magic spells.
Also in this episode, 90s voice direction.
Yep.
Like, it's not necessarily bad, but it's so different from what anything made this today would sound like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
noticed. It's interesting. I've never seen it before, so I thought it would be jarring, but it's not really. I'm noticing that it's different, but it's the kind of different that it was not in like
Yeah.
worried about, It's interesting. It's cool.
Yeah, it's very nostalgic, just how much it looks and sounds like stuff I haven't seen in so long. I like it for that reason, especially.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love the backgrounds. I miss backgrounds that look like that.
Matte paintings are hard,
Yeah.
and it's more cost effective to just make everything digitally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I could see myself living in a matte painting.
It's also kind of, again, I mean, we were talking this last week about how it looks and how it looks really good. I think it's worth, to be fair, I would say too that there are parts of the animation that look kind of cheap. I mean, from time to time, there are some shots where the characters don't look really right, but all in all, the overall aesthetic is just cool.
Yeah. Thankfully, I miss all the parts where it doesn't look right. So
It's usually like a character in the background that's running or something, and they just look kind of wonky.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, does anyone else have anything about this episode?
No.
I don't think so.
It wasn't actually a very eventful episode.
No.
I guess not.
I guess not.
I still liked it.
Yeah.
I'm really digging it.
So I guess that'll be our show for tonight. Thank you, C. Kohler.
My pleasure.
Thank you, B-Dubs.
Yep.
Thank you, Dr. Chaotix.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
Yep, we'll see you in 2 weeks for episode 72. Good night, everyone.